I have a question. Has it ever dawned on you that some of the things, or most of the things, if not all of the things that you hate about those that you love that are close to you are also within you, or has something to do with you in one way or another? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. From your mother to your brother to your sister to your daughter to your son to your father. In some way, shape, form, or fashion, those things that we hate and downright detest about those we love are also a part of ourselves. Now, what part of ourselves that is and what it has to do with is the true question. Sometimes that thing that you can't stand is showing up to show you maybe the parts of yourself that are still healing, that need to be healed, or that is being highlighted in that moment in your life for whatever reasons. Yeah. Sometimes those things show up and continue to show up to show you who you don't want to be, who you don't have to be. Yeah. Or the things that you don't have to do. Sometimes these things are a part of us naturally because they've been passed down generationally, because the person that came before you didn't recognize this was something that probably was not so pleasing. I'm gonna say pleasing in one way or another to the person that was taking it on, receiving it, you know. This even happens with spouses or ex-spouses that we've been with and are still with, and sometimes this thing could show up, maybe not in your current relationship. Let me say this right. Sometimes it have showed up for you in your previous relationship, and now is again showing up in your current relationship. The only difference is this time it's not coming from the person that originally displayed it to you. It's coming from you to the new person. It's showing up in ways that you never would have imagined, and it's also creeping under the radar to the point where it's one thing for a person to not want to admit, but it's a whole other thing when they just don't see it, because they never would have thought this was something that they would have taken on, because you didn't take it on intentionally. And sometimes your spirit can grab hold of things just out of ways of learning to protect yourself. But again, it don't be your intention sometimes. Sometimes it just happens. Like example, have you ever been with a person and you listen to this person tell you different things that they've experienced in their past relationship and past lives with other people, and one day or just out of the blue you start noticing that, dang, why does it seem like he or she is acting like the very thing that they once told me about? And he or she may not even recognize it just yet. And if you try to get them to see it too soon, there's got to be a bumping of heads depending upon how receptive this person is of this information. Although this is something that you just cannot stand about the other person or the other persons, the thing that we're talking about right now isn't about whether it's good or bad. It's about just recognizing that these things have a tendency to show up in different ways and different people, even in you. It's a reason why sometimes you get with the person and it's like we just started talking, or we just started mingling, dating, or whatever you want to call it, and it seems like we've been at this for years, or it seems like I've known this person before. It's called a familiar spirit. And it's just like being able to recognize different spirits in different bodies, or the same spirit in different bodies. Because remember, we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but spirits and entities in high places. So I say all of that to say, be a little bit more compassionate, be a little bit more understanding, be a little bit more open and receptive to receiving parts of you that you may not even realize that are there. Be patient with yourself and be patient with the process, especially in a new relationship. You know, sometimes, especially in the beginning, things are unfolding in ways that we can't really truly control, but God, Soul, Spirit, Universe knows what we need at the moment. So just be patient, even with the person that may be putting you up on game on some of what's really happening that you may not see, and vice versa. You never know how things are going to present themselves or when. So you have to be ready. It's another word I was thinking. It's not on guard. It's another word I was thinking, but be ready. Gird up your loins, because sometimes you can ask for certain things with certain people and you don't really know what you're getting into until you done got into it. And then you start wondering and thinking like, Lord, is this really what I want to do? And it's during that time when you got to be patient with you, your process, and the other person, you know, because sometimes it just be like that, you know. Sometimes you don't know how much work it's going to take to make a certain relationship with a person work until you really get into the work, and that takes two people to do that work, not just one. So yeah, I think that's all I got for now. But I'll be back. And remember, God intended for this angel. And you're almost there, even though it looks further away than it is. And it may be for some, but don't fret. Be present. Love you guys. See you in a minute. Peace.